What's up, positive bitches? How are we doing today? If you're hearing this episode, you are meant to be here, so keep listening. On that Bitches Positive podcast, sometimes we will laugh, other times, baby girl, we're gonna cry. But we will always walk away feeling our most empowered, positive bitch self. That is babe in true connection with herself. On this podcast, we unbecome who we are not so we can fully step into exactly who we came here to be. Today, we are talking about one of my favorite topics and probably one of my most asked questions. Cece, how do we get everyone obsessed with us? How do we get this specific person obsessed with us? What do we do? I am so excited to share with you everything I've learned along my journey. Let me just make it so clear. If you are not getting the results you want in your reality, you can change your results. I can go literally anywhere. It doesn't matter if I'm going to a store or a bar. It doesn't matter what I'm dressed like. I can go anywhere and I will get compliments from all different people. People buying me drinks, giving me free gifts because of how I broadcast my energy. Now, I have looked literally the same. I've looked exactly the same. Maybe my hair was a little different and I wore a different shirt, but I looked like me. And I can go out and I will get completely different results based on what I'm broadcasting. I talked about this in the episode called Activate Your Inner Femme Fatale and Become Irresistible. I went out on a Friday night and a Saturday night, and I got so much better results on Saturday night. It was insane. It was insane. So let's talk about what I changed, what I do now that I used to not do, and how that's completely affected my reality. Completely. I'm telling you, you have all the power in the world that you need to get them interested in you. Whether you're trying to find your soulmate or you just want to create this magnetic energy where you feel like you're in your power, or maybe you want both. It's your divine right to feel sexy in my book. It's your divine right to get the results that you want in my book. We're not doing harm to anyone. We're learning how to use our power. And that is the most revolutionary thing we can do, considering society is constantly trying to take it away from us. Stepping into your power, listening to this podcast and learning from it and actually doing the things I'm going to be sharing with you, that is the most revolutionary thing you can do. Because you're saying, no, I'm not going to feel ugly. I'm not going to feel stupid. I'm not going to go out and think I'm not worthy. I'm going to reclaim my power and go out there. This world is my oyster. It's time I start acting like it. Because that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm going to be walking you through 8 distinct steps of how to activate your magnetic energy so everyone will be obsessed with you. You will be getting compliments not only on your energy, not only what you look like, not only on your presence in general, but more people will be interested in you. And we're not manipulating them. We're not chasing them. We're actually just placing ourselves back on our pedestal where we belong. People think it's so hard to do this. No. You're actually doing too much. You're doing too much, and that's why you're not getting the results that you want. It's much easier than you think. Before we get into it, and before you learn 8 tools to completely shift your energy to get them obsessed with you, I gotta let you in on some of my weekly announcements. Number 1, if you're not yet following me on Instagram at Vibin with Cece, be sure to follow me there for daily magnetic tips and tricks. You'll also get to stay connected with me throughout the week, not just Thursdays. Of course, follow this podcast Instagram at That Bitch Is Positive to see clips and quotes from this podcast. Also, if you are going through a breakup, you can join the 21-day breakup glow up challenge to learn how to glow up and go back home to yourself. You will learn how to stop obsessing over them and get into yourself. If you're dating and you want to understand how to stop energetically chasing and how to place yourself on the pedestal, you can join the pedestal path for not only a Making Mind special audio that I created for you to literally rewire your mind, but workbooks, a meditation, and over 4 hours of content creation, all for you to learn how to put yourself back on the pedestal. Of course, if you want to learn how to tap into your divine feminine energy, you can get the workbook, and you can also get the Calling Your Power Back workbook to learn how to call that power back and reclaim your pedestal. Also, if you are ready to tap into your most magnetic self, I have some openings for my one-on-one clients. If you don't know, I am a certified life and energy coach, and I offer one-on-one sessions via Zoom for a variety of different things, from inner child healing, divine feminine activation, also divine feminine healing, self-concept work, attachment system healing, and so much more. So if you're interested, you're ready to level up, you can DM me now on Instagram at Vibin with Cece for more information. As always, all the links will be in the show notes. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. How do we make people obsessed with us? If people are not obsessed with you, interested in you, this comes down to dysfunction in your focus. If you're constantly thinking, what are other people going to think of me? How am I being perceived? What are they doing? Where focus goes, energy flows. You are literally depleting yourself of your energy, which is yours. So why are you giving it away to everyone for free? Let's talk about point number 1. Each one of these, if they are imbalanced, if you have a dysfunction in your focus, will drain you of your magnetic energy. Let's go through this step by step. Point number 1. You have to feel good in your clothes. When you are picking out an outfit, I don't want you thinking, oh, what are the guys going to think I look the best in? What are the girlies going to think I look the best in? Who should I dress for? What do I have to dress? No. That is a dysfunction in your focus. If you are dressing for other people, you are literally sending out all of your energy. Your life is no longer about you. Who is the subject of your life? Not you if you're dressing for other people. You have to find what makes you feel good. What you wear, how you present your hair, your jewelry, your makeup, all of this has to be to your liking. It can change over time, but it has to be to your liking. This past Halloween weekend, I was going out and I was a femme fatale fairy. Long story. I was going to be many different renditions of a fairy, but I decided this is my femme fatale era. So hello, femme fatale fairy. And I was not sure how I was going to do my makeup. I knew I wanted something a little bit darker, more dramatic. It's Halloween. I like to really get into it. And it took me an hour to figure out what I wanted to do. And I kept redoing it. I didn't want to do my usual makeup. This is fun. Let's dress up. And my partner was like, Cece, what's the big deal? And I was like, this is the big deal. I have to feel good about what I'm putting on my face, because if I don't, that's going to affect how I broadcast my energy and where I am on my pedestal. My partner wanted to get to this pregame / party like really on time, but there was a series of events that kind of pushed our timeline a little bit further. And so was he rushing me a bit? Yeah. Was he trying not to? Yeah. But I felt the pressure. And I had a moment to say to myself, Cece, who are you living for? Who are you living for? If you rush through your makeup, if you hate what it looks like, you're going to be in not the best mood. You're going to be broadcasting all types of energy. You're going to be saying negative things to yourself. Take your time. Slow it down. And funny enough, when you slow down and just take care of what you need to take care of, you end up doing it better anyway, which speeds up the process. When you're doing your makeup, when you're doing your hair, when you're getting dressed, even your skincare, you have to do things that make you feel good. We all know that when we're in our sweats for 2 weeks straight, we start to feel a little icky sticky. But when we dress up and we put on our makeup, we do our hair, we do our nails, we get the tan, we feel better about ourselves. It's a lie to say our physicality doesn't affect us. Of course it does, because everything is energy. What energy are you putting on your body? Because that's going to interact with your electromagnetic field. It's going to affect what you're broadcasting into the universe, into the bar, into other people. So not only do I want you to take your time, you do not rush. I literally have this piece of art in my room. One says, I am my own muse, and the other one says, do not rush me. Because I do not like to be rushed. Take your time. Do what feels good to you. Put that energy into yourself. Wear what makes you feel good, because it's going to affect your energy. Do what you need to do to make you feel good, whether that's a 30-minute shower or doing something to your hair. I don't know what it is for you. We're all different, but you have to figure out what makes you feel good. Even for me, doing eyeliner, the cat eye, that affects how I feel about myself. I instantly feel more authentic, more me, more in my magnetic energy. It's the littlest things that can cause the greatest shifts. I remember a couple months ago, I got my third hole pierced in my ear, and then in the middle of my ear, I don't know what that's called. But I did that, and instantly I felt more like myself. I felt more in my own energy. Do not sleep on the subtle shifts of what you're putting on your body, how you're doing your hair, how you're doing your makeup, what you're wearing. And I don't care if you wear a turtleneck to the heavens or if you're wearing the deepest V. You have to do what feels authentic, what feels good, what makes you feel magnetic and in your power. The thoughts you tell yourself in private will be seen in public. When you're doing your makeup and you're feeling good about yourself, you're telling yourself positive things about yourself, that is going to be perceived when you're in public. But if you're hating what you're doing, you're dressing for other people, that those thoughts of you not feeling good about yourself, that is going to be perceived in the public. So while you're getting ready, here's another layer. What are you saying to yourself? Are you saying that you never look good in anything? Are you saying that everything looks terrible on you? Are you saying that, wow, I really love how I'm doing my eyeliner, or even if it's not perfect, I'm getting better? What are you saying to yourself in the process of getting ready? If you're saying, I'm so rushed, I have no time to myself, you're not going to feel good. But if you just focus on the simple question of what makes me feel good, that will help you begin to wire in, to activate, to tap into this magnetic energy that will have people obsessed with you. Because here's the thing, if you're obsessing over everyone else, whatever we chase, whether it's a bug or a boy, will run away. If you're obsessing over how people are going to perceive you, they're going to be looking the other way. But if you get into how you're perceiving yourself, that is what makes you magnetic. Why? The law of correspondence. Our inner world will always be reflected back to us in our external world. If I'm not doing things that make me feel good, if I'm trying to place other people's perception on my pedestal, no one's going to perceive me on my own pedestal. If I ghost what I want, I ghost my needs, I ghost my opinion, other people are going to ghost my needs, my opinions, my wants, etc., etc. Moral of the magnetic story is, if you focus on you, other people will focus on you too. If you ask yourself, what do I like? Let me do that. Other people are going to be more interested in you. Because you're focused on you, they'll focus on you too. But if you're chasing their perception, if you're chasing them, baby, there can only be one chaser. Two people are not going to chase at one another. There can only ever be one. You and your partner can both be on your pedestal holding hands, but you can't be chasing at one another. If someone was chasing you, you wouldn't turn around and be like, hey, let me chase you back. No, you would run in the opposite direction. So what are you chasing? Your own perception, or are you chasing theirs? When you become healthily obsessed with yourself, other people will become healthily obsessed with you too. I always think of these celebrities. Celebrities aren't asking for all of our opinions. They're not chasing us down. No, they're just doing whatever they want and they're posting it. And then everyone flocks them. Why? Because celebrities are on their own pedestal. They're on their own pedestal. I was listening to this interview from this girl who was on Victorious. It was so random. Don't even ask me how I got there. But I was listening to it and she was saying how when you're this child star and you're on a big network like Nickelodeon, every single one of your wants or needs are met immediately. They'll be asking you, do you want a straw? What do you need? I think she was saying she was vegan, and the showrunner of the show literally hired a vegan chef basically just for her. And she said her husband at the time was shocked at the treatment that she was getting, because before she could even think of what she wanted, she had someone saying, do you need this? Do you want an ice pack? Do you want that? Do you want that? They are so trained that they're on the pedestal, everyone else is below them, and they're going to get all their needs met. Now, does some of that get to their heads, and can that affect them in a negative way? Absolutely. But we can't ignore that these celebrities are magnetic. A lot of them are really magnetic. They have millions and millions of people looking at them, wanting to know what they're going to do next, because they're placed on their own pedestal. So when you think about being magnetic, think about the celebrity. Would a celebrity be commenting back to every single person, every single hater, worried about what everyone's thinking of them? No. They're doing their own thing regardless. Speaking of celebrities, let's talk about Miss Marilyn Monroe, because we have something we can learn from her. Now, Marilyn Monroe was not this perfect person. Nobody is, but we can still learn from her. I read this story one time on the podcast. I think the episode was called The Marilyn Monroe Effect, so you can go listen to it, but I'm going to summarize it for this podcast episode. There was a story from this journalist, and she said that her and Marilyn were walking in New York City, and no one was noticing them or coming up to them. They were just having a nice stroll. And then Marilyn looked to her and said, do you want to see me turn on her or become her? And the journalist didn't know what that meant, but she's not going to turn down this opportunity. So she said, yeah, sure. And the journalist claims she's not exactly sure what Marilyn did because it was so subtle. But suddenly, Marilyn was walking a little bit different. Her head was held a little bit different. And suddenly, cars began to stop. People walking past her immediately started to recognize, wait, that's Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe did not change her makeup or her hair or her outfit. What she changed was her mindset. And when she changed her mindset and she decided, I'm going to become her, she turned on her, immediately that decision affected her posture, how she was walking, how she was holding her energy, how she was broadcasting her energy, which then affected how people perceived her energy. When you decide to become her, you show up as her, other people will perceive you as her. Jazz hands if you're watching on YouTube. It's a decision. Becoming confident, okay, decide to become confident and you will be. Becoming the hot girl, decide you are the hot girl. Becoming magnetic, okay, same process. Decide you are magnetic. And when you tell yourself, I am magnetic, you stand a little differently. Your head's held a little bit differently. You walk a little bit differently. When you shift how you see yourself internally, again, the law of correspondence, everyone will shift how they see you too. But as always, it starts with you learning how to focus on you. Remember what I said at the beginning of this podcast, a lot of why people are not interested in us is because we have a dysfunction in our focus. We're so focused on how are they perceiving me? What are they liking about me? What do they think of me? Do they hate me? Instead of doing that, decide how you want to show up, period. And that will naturally affect every single person, place, and opportunity you come into contact with. I call this the Marilyn Monroe effect. When she decided to turn her on, she became her. Everyone saw her as her. That is what's so important. So yes, point one was that what you wear and how you do your hair and your makeup, that's all going to affect how you feel about yourself. Because if you do makeup that doesn't really feel like you, if you've ever been to a makeup artist who does your makeup too intense or not quite right, you don't feel like yourself. And so you don't feel that magnetic energy. But you feel a difference when you do your makeup and it is perfect, right? Not only does our physicality affect us, which was point one, our mindset affects us even stronger. Our mindset, when we decide to become her, affects us and how everyone is perceiving us. So it's not just our physicality. It's not just our mindset. It's both. It's both of these things interacting with one another that create this human and divine human self that we are, that is interacting with other people, that affects how other people see us. So far, you have to check in with, am I wearing what makes me feel good? Am I doing my makeup in a way that makes me feel good? Do I need to learn how to do my makeup in a different way? Do I need to learn how to do my hair in a different way? In a way that makes me feel like me, in a way that makes me feel good. Step two is, where's my mindset at? Am I telling myself that I suck, that everyone's better than me? Or am I deciding that I am the hot girl? And so I'm going to show up as her. Am I deciding that I am the most magnetic version of me? I want you to take a second and just think. Just think about, what does my most magnetic self walk like? What does she talk like? What does she dress like? What does she show up as? How does she interact with other people? That's the blueprint. Just start following that blueprint and bam, you are her. Just follow the blueprint and show up as her, and there you go. Point three is affirmations. Now, when you're going out, this past Halloween weekend, it was a full moon and a lunar eclipse. So I told my friend Sophia, I told her, we got to do affirmations over any shot that we take. Any alcoholic drink I'm drinking, I am praying over it. I am setting intentions over it because girl, it's a day of releasing. It's a day of change. So we literally did positive affirmations over our shots. We said this is going to be an amazing magnetic night. We're going to have so much fun. We look so beautiful. We are feeling so great about ourselves. And we just did that. Number one, this makes your night so much more fun. Because you and your friend are entering the sisterhood or brotherhood, humanhood, I don't care, okay? You're entering in together. And if you think about it, when someone takes a shot, usually they're not doing it alone. If you are, DM me. Let's talk about that. But usually when people are doing a shot at a pregame, at a party, at a bar, they're doing it with another person or in a group of people. Is this not a sacred ceremony? I don't care if it's alcohol or not. Think about it. It's a group of people setting intention, speaking over what they're about to ingest. That's a ceremony. What are you inputting into your drinks? What are you saying over what you're putting into your body? Because that's going to affect you. Dr. Emoto proved this. He froze water and took pictures of this water. He put some water in glasses that said love and beauty and thank you. And then he put some water in glasses that said hatred, anger, other negative words. And after he froze the water and looked at it under a microscope, he saw that the water he set positive intentions over and said positive words over had beautiful crystal-like structures. The water in the cups that had negative words on them had these really grotesque, weird patterns. What you say to the drinks to your food, anything you're ingesting will change you on a cellular level. So if you're going to be drinking, I don't care what you're drinking, what you're ingesting, you better be speaking light and life over it, because that's going to affect you subconsciously and energetically. And that's something easy you can do anywhere, and it's fun. Make it a sacred sister ceremony and speak life over your drinks. Now, let's get into the night, shall we? Because there are some things that happened, and I just love sharing these results with you because they just get better and better and better. Me and my friend Sophia, we were with a group of people. And we went out and we were at this one bar, and the bar was fun. We stayed there for a little bit, but then we thought, let's change this up. Let's go to a different bar. Let's change the scenery. So we did. And the original bar we wanted to get into, there was a line of at least 50 people. So the group didn't want to go there, but me and Sophia, as we walked around, we passed this bar that had 50 people waiting on the line at least. And I said, what if we just ask to get in? What if we just go up to the bouncer and say, can we get in? Is there a whole entire line? Yes, but maybe that would work. And we're not doing harm to anyone. We're just using our free will and asking for exactly what we want. If you think about how manifestation works, you have to ask in order to receive. So I said, why not ask? And she's down for anything. So of course she says yes. The squeaky wheel really does get the grease. So we go up to the bouncer and we say, can we get in? Someone happened to be leaving the bar at the exact time that we said that. And it was this other dude. And he said something really inappropriate. And when he said that, I was like, you know what? I don't want to go here anymore. That's gross. Not into it. I'm getting out of here. So we start walking away. And then the bouncer screams at us. And the guy screams back, wait. Come back. We're sorry. It was just a joke. Come back. And it wasn't an insult, but it was just inappropriate and uncalled for. And I don't care if you're drunk. Don't ever speak to me like that. And so they called us back, and the bouncer, who didn't say anything, he was just a kind soul, was like, yes, come on in. Don't worry about it. Sorry about that dude. And I was like, no problem. So we go in, and obviously we have the night of our lives. Like, it was so much fun. This is what I want to explain to you about that circumstance, because there's truly medicine in everything. I went up to that bouncer and I said, can we get in? The guy happens to be walking out and says something really inappropriate. If I were to play into that inappropriate comment, that would have been selling myself short. That would have been me trying to prove myself worthy through something inappropriate. It kind of reminds me, and I hate this term, but it kind of reminds me of a pick-me moment. If I was to play into his inappropriate comment because he thought he was being all funny, that would have been me trying to be a pick-me. Baby, no. Okay, I don't need you to pick me, because I pick me every single day. If you don't want to let me into this bar, there's 15 others I'll walk into. That's this bar's loss. The fact that I did not play into that guy's comment and I stayed on my own pedestal, I was not needing them to let me into this bar. That was the exact reason that I got into the bar and I was able to cut the whole entire line. That was the exact reason. I am not going to attach my worth to you letting me into this bar or not. I don't care. I don't care enough. I don't. This is the thing. We manifest what we really, really, really want and what we really, 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 really don't want. If I am to be begging and pleading and trying to prove myself worthy and playing into that pick-me energy and laughing at an inappropriate joke that's not funny. Sorry, get a new sense of humor. If I was to do that, I would have been manifesting a scenario where I don't feel worthy enough to stand up for myself. I chose me. Because that's the thing. When you choose you, other people will choose you too. When I chose me, the bouncer chose me too. When I chose me, even the guy who made the dumb joke chose me too. Not interested, but I can understand why you would choose me. I don't need to chase this bouncer energetically or this person, whoever they may be. I don't need to bring something to the table. I am the table. I am the table. So if you don't want to let me in, okay. This brings me to my next point, point 5, which is don't take things so seriously. I think a lot of us can get really offended. And if we're easily offended, that means we're also easily manipulated and easily knocked off our own pedestal. I'm not going to be offended if you don't let me into this bar because you don't determine my worth. I'm not going to be offended if someone in the bar doesn't find me attractive because you don't define my worth. I do. I know the effort I put into myself, my healing, my body, my energy. I prove to myself every single day that I'm worthy of the things that I want. I don't need some rando to prove that to me too. I'm not attached to you, random person, and I don't need you to tell me what I already know about myself. What I do in private shows in the public electromagnetic field that we all reside in. What I do in private, the work that I do shows in my energy in public, whether people register that consciously or not. They want me around, they're interested in me, and they're going to come up to me. We don't want to take things too seriously. We don't want to take things personally. We want to take things vibrationally. If I was not let into this bar, it could have been a couple of different energetic reasons. Maybe this bar was in a lower vibration than me and I would have hated it and it would have been a waste of my time. Maybe something could have happened that would have negatively affected me, or maybe I just wasn't in my magnetic power. Maybe I wasn't on my pedestal. I'm telling you, if I would have played into that joke, that inappropriate joke, the guy would not have let us in because that would immediately be me placing him on my pedestal, trying to prove my worth, trying to make a seat at the table when I am the table. I am not starving for whatever it is you have, and therefore I'm always fed. I'm always provided for because I'm never starving for anything because I'm giving it to myself. And that is an energetic law that you need to understand for you to get the results that you want. If you need their validation, you need their affection, you need their attention, you need them to let you into the bar, your life is going to be a lot harder. There's going to be a lot more resistance. But when you don't need it, but you'll take it, you'll be fine with it, but you already have your own table, that's when you get the results that you want. That's why how you dress, your makeup, your mindset, turning her on, the affirmations over the drinks, the going out and asking for what it is you want. Again, squeaky wheel gets the grease. And then understanding it's not personal. Don't take it so serious. Take it vibrational. Understand where you're at. All of these things add up to you being your most magnetic self, which adds up to you feeling your best, feeling whole, and then you get better results. It's really not about the external results. It can be partly about that. Of course, you want the best results, duh. But really, when you're in this magnetic energy and you're getting the results you want, you just feel so much better about yourself. You feel good because you've been priming yourself all day. And now the result is the cherry on top of the cake. We all want to feel good. So when you're trying to get something that you want from another person, make them feel good too. When I went up to the bouncer, I wasn't like, you better let me in. Do you know who I am? I'm not going to threaten this man's life. Like, I did not come here to do that. I'm not going to put my fangs into you and make you see my worth. No, you either see it or you don't. Not everyone understands the cost of a Chanel bag. Not everyone has good taste. That's not my fault. So what I like to say is everyone wants to feel good. If you're trying to get something, make them feel good. I was trying to get into this bar, this club, whatever the hell it is. All I did was nicely ask, hey, can we get in? I'm not demanding. I'm not mean. I'm not crude like that man coming out of the bar. Just kind, just nice, just on my pedestal. He wants to feel good like he's the big man in town, letting a girl in who asks kindly. He gets an ego boost. I get in. We all get to get what we want. This brings me to point number 6. Baby girlies, listen up when I say it is always, always, always frequency over force. Frequency over force. Do not try to force people to understand you, to like you, to get you, to know you. No. Do not force anything, because trying to force is so 3D based when what we need for real change is our frequency to shift. If I was to go up to this bouncer and try to force him to let me into the club, the bar, again, whatever it is, that wouldn't have went well. No, because force doesn't work. You can't force a horse to drink water. You can't force a horse to drink water. You can make that horse thirsty. Getting people obsessed with you is not about forcing them, because what is sexy about that but nothing? It's about inspiring them. When are we most likely to make a change in our life? Either when we're in so much pain that we can't stand it anymore, or we're inspired to do so. When you want people obsessed with you, this is not something you force. It's something you inspire within them. I have so much fun on my own that it inspires people to gravitate towards me. I inspired that bouncer to let me in by staying on my own pedestal, walking away when the person made the inappropriate joke, showing I don't need this, I don't really care that much, and then coming back when they were kind again and going in. Inspire people, do not force them. How do you inspire people? You think of your most magnetic self, you show up as her, you embody that, you go out, you set the intention to have fun. You do not set the intention, I need them to buy me a drink, I need them to do that. If I have the intention of, oh my God, I need this bouncer to let me in, I need someone to buy me a drink, that's not magnetic. That is you needing something outside of yourself. That's you chasing other people who you don't even know. No, you inspire other people by going on the dance floor, by having fun, by hanging out with your friend. If you need to go into a bar and buy your first drink yourself just to inspire that energy of I don't need anyone right now, do it. Do what you need to do. Dance the boogaloo. It's all going to be fine. But when you're trying to force things, you step into your masculine energy. You now become the chaser. And remember, there can only ever be one chaser. Because if someone was chasing you, you wouldn't turn around and start chasing them back. No, you'd run in the opposite direction. What the heck, man? Why are you chasing me? Think about it like this, because that's what it is. Number 7, lucky number 7, brings me to my very own dessert principle. Now, I created this principle because I'm tired of seeing the best of intentions going in the wrong direction. Because what do we want? We want connection. We want love. We want to feel good. It's pretty simple. But what happens is we go out, we give too much of ourselves, we energetically chase, and all of that goes down the toilet. Our intentions are now skewed. The dessert principle. Let me explain it. If I were to buy you a birthday cake, and it was the most expensive birthday cake, it was the nicest cake, but you ate the whole entire cake, you would get sick. That doesn't take away from the cake's value. It was really expensive. It was made by the best baker in town. It was a great cake. But because you ate too much of it, you got sick of it anyway. And now anytime you think of the cake or any cake in general, you're like, ugh, I can't even think about it because it made me so sick last time. Now apply this to energy. When you give too much of you, your cake away, your energy, your time, your presence, your body to someone, it makes them energetically sick. Not because you don't have value, not because you're not amazing, not because you're not the best baker in town, but because you simply gave too much of yourself away that makes them energetically sick. And now every time they think of the energy you bring, it makes them feel sick and they repel in the opposite direction. So what do? Stop giving so much of yourself away. Stop it. If you wouldn't give them your keys, do not give them your body. If you would not give them your number, stop giving them all of your attention. What are we doing? What are we doing? You giving all of yourself to someone who you don't even think really likes you? That's not going to make you feel good. You giving all of yourself to someone way too soon is not going to make you feel good. You're now taking on their energy, their entities, their traumas subconsciously. You don't even know you're doing this. Then you're feeling negatively about yourself. And then this is a spiraling cycle that continues and continues. Because then you say, well, I need another dopamine rush. Oh, let me give my whole entire self to someone else. Oh no, now I feel bad again. What do? Oh, let me find someone else. No. Stop getting underneath people and get into yourself instead. because that's what's going to shift your energy. That's what's going to make you feel good. That's what's going to put you into your power. It's not being with a bunch of random people who you never speak to again. That is the biggest lie we've been sold. Who came up with that? I don't understand that. We talk about fighting the patriarchy. Oh, so the way to fight the patriarchy is to become more like the men in it that we're trying to take down? That makes no sense. Stop giving all of yourself to other people. That means sharing your whole entire life with someone you don't know. It means giving them your body, your energy, your presence, your time. It means it all. It's everything. If you want to hang out and talk to someone at a bar, do it. Have fun. Again, don't take it so seriously. Enjoy life. You came here to learn, develop, grow, and have fun. To feel good, to create happiness. So do that. If you're obsessed with someone and you just met them, you're romanticizing them. No doubt in my mind. Because there's no way in heaven that you could be obsessed with someone and you just met them. You don't know enough. And if you're obsessed with them, it means you're filling in their blanks with your own fantasies. So reel it back in and refocus on you. Refocus on you so you can see them for how they really are, for who they're really showing up as, instead of your romanticized version in your head because you got too excited. When you get too excited and you fill in their silence with your imagination, you're more likely to energetically chase them now because you've created this amazing version in your head that they could never even live up to. So if you're obsessing over them, you got to ask yourself, is this who they really are? Are they actually showing up like this? Are they actually speaking these words? Or am I romanticizing them? Are their actions and words aligning? Are their words and actions aligning? Or am I filling in their blanks with my own fantasies, hopes, desires, and dreams? No one on this planet is worth you giving up your whole entire self for upon just meeting them. And if they're for you, they're not going to make it a requirement that you are intimate with them right off the bat. They're not going to make it a requirement that you tell them everything about yourself ever right off the bat. Give yourself time and space to see if you even like this person. Give yourself time and space to see if you even resonate with this person. What's the rush? If you're going to be with this person forever, what is the rush? I don't see one. And frankly, I don't want someone's rusty, dusty energy on me that I don't even know. It's not a prize to be intimate with someone because everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing everything. It's not special. It's not a prize. It's not interesting. It's the most basic thing we can do. It's the least interesting thing we can do is be intimate with a bunch of different people. We're taking on their negative energy. We're taking on the thoughts they have about us. If they don't think that we are this fantastic woman, we're now taking on their thoughts about us. We're internalizing that. It just does so much more harm than good. Why not give yourself time and space to see if you actually like someone? Part of the dessert principle is raising your standard and lowering your acceptance rate. A lot of people are going to tell you, lower your standard. No, why? Why? So we can let people in who we're going to end up resenting and not liking anyway? What's the point of that? There is none. Raise your standard and apply it to yourself. Whatever I require of other people, I also require of myself. Raise your standard. Don't just give your energy to anyone and everyone. Don't just give your body to everyone and anyone. Because why? When we do that, we make people energetically sick anyway and they repel. Raise your standard for what it is that you desire in life. Apply it to yourself, or at least be the complement of what it is you desire. Step 2 of this is lower your acceptance rate. Stop allowing the BS. Stop allowing people to come in and out of your life. Whatever you allow, you amplify. If you keep allowing people to do whatever they want, they're going to keep doing whatever they want. If you don't put yourself on the pedestal, law of correspondence, they're not going to put you on a pedestal either. When I was outside of that bar and that man said a weirdo comment, I don't accept that. Why? Because I'm on my own pedestal. And again, because I chose myself in the moment, so did they. And their energy, their perception of me changed immediately because they knew what I was about in that moment. I don't accept that. No, try again, because that's not going to fly over here. lower your acceptance rate. Colleges like Harvard and Yale and all these schools, they have very low acceptance rates. It's hard to get into those colleges. It's also difficult to get in and stay in my life if you're going to be acting up. Because I know whatever I allow, I amplify. So raise your standard for what you require and lower your acceptance rate. Lower the amount of BS you're accepting into your life. And I promise you, better vibrational connections will come in. Because I have a little acceptance rate for BS, I don't deal with it. You want to say something? No. Hard pass. And suddenly the BS goes away and I get exactly what I want because I stay on my own pedestal. I stay in my magnetic energy. And that's what it's about. Even when people out there are acting up, you stay true to you. Even when people out there are doing some little cray-cray, you stay on your pedestal. We do not alter ourselves because of these other people. I think there's a whole entire sentiment of you should give back whatever energy people are giving to you. I get that. But to me, I'm not going to lower myself because you're in a bad vibration. No thanks, I'm busy. I'm busy flying high. If you want to act up, if you want to lower your own vibration, I don't care. Like, that is your own stuff. I don't know. Maybe you need a karmic lesson. Don't know. That's not my business. My business is remaining on my own pedestal. And how do I do that? I listen to the dessert principle. I have a high standard and a low acceptance rate. I don't change because you're going to act a little cray-cray. I stay true to my values. And because I do that, I align with people who see those values within me and treat me as such. As soon as they knew I am not going to take that, they saw me on my pedestal and they said, whoa, we got to let this girl in. We're going to let her, in fact, cut this whole entire line of 50 people, which I'm so sorry if you were on that line, by the way. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I had to put my magnetic powers to the test once again. How do you remain on your own pedestal? That brings us to number 8. I used to go out and I would do something I called body bouncing, which means I would be talking to someone and immediately jump to their perception of how are they seeing me? Do they like me? What are they into? What should I say right now? How do I manipulate myself so they like me? This is called body bouncing. When you're switching your perception for theirs and seeing you from their point of view rather than seeing yourself from your own point of view. How do you put yourself back on your own pedestal? One way is to just start dancing. Go on the dance floor because dancing will help you get out of your head and into your body. Who cares what it looks like? I always enter messy makeup mode. My eyeliner dripping down my face. It looks like I just showered. My hair is wet. I don't care. I'm going to dance the night away. I'm going to dance the night away because I came here for me. I intended to have fun and my fun is my responsibility. So I'm going to go do that. Dancing is a beautiful way to stop giving your focus and attention to some random person or even who you're there with and to refocus on you. To listen to music you like, to feel into your body. Another way is to simply ask yourself, am I even enjoying this conversation right now? Do I need another drink? Am I drinking too much? Do I need to go to the bathroom? Where are my friends right now? Check in with your senses. Check in with how you're feeling. If we're used to constantly checking in on how other people are feeling, we're used to constantly checking in with how other people are perceiving us, we get really good at that. And it's very likely that we're going to body bounce. But if we're body bouncing, that means we're chasing their perception, pedestaling their perception instead of just being in our own body and being magnetic. I think a huge part of magnetic energy is feeling like, well, you can't really take anything away from me because I'm not going to let you. I know myself. I know what I deserve. I am the whole table. Hell, I'm a 5-course meal personified. You can't take that from me. When you know that you have this power, which we all have, you just have to tap into it. When you know you have this power, you're not easily manipulated. You're not easily offended. You're just like, yeah, I'm not going to take this too seriously. I'm going to go with the flow because all that's happening is happening for me. So if this isn't the place for me to be, there's going to be a better place for me to be. No one can take my power away from me. I've spent years cultivating it, and I'm going to continue to do so. I am committed to energetic excellence. It's what I do, baby. But when we feel like, oh, I need their validation. Oh, I need them to let me into this bar. Those are all very flimsy things that people can take away from us. That person doesn't have to let me into the bar. Oh, they're taking something away from me. That person doesn't have to validate me. They don't even freaking know me. Oh, that's a flimsy thing. They can take that away from me. You can't take away the power I've cultivated. Try me. See what happens. You can't do it. You can't. You simply can't. You can't easily offend me. You can't take away my power. You cannot validate me in a way that's actually important to me if you're a stranger, and you cannot affect how I'm going to show up, because I'm really not going to take it personally. I'm not going to take it seriously, but I will take it vibrationally to help me understand what's going on below the 3D level. Because below that surface level is what is actually dictating your reality. That's why every single point I've mentioned today, which was 1, feeling good in your clothes and your makeup and your hair, and what are you saying to yourself while you're getting ready? 2, deciding to show up as her, seeing that most magnetic self and becoming her. 3, affirmations. 4, asking for what you want when you go out. Take a healthy risk on yourself while realizing that you're already the table. You don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to say, pick me, pick me, pick me. 5, not taking life seriously, taking it vibrationally. 6, frequency over force. 7, dessert principle. 8, no more body bouncing. All of these things are about you refocusing on you, what you're doing energetically, what you're thinking about, what you're feeding yourself, because all of those things make you you. You are quite literally a summary of all of your habits, of all of your thoughts, of all the little energetic priming activities that you do. You are a summary of that. And when you work on yourself and you're committed to energetic excellence, no one can take that away from you. What I want you to understand is you have the power, you have the capacity to be this most magnetic version of you and get the attention, the affection, the connection from others if you so choose, if you so care, if you want it. It's up to you. Build your own life however you want. But if you want it, here are the tools. We don't gatekeep around here. We help fix one another's crowns when they happen to fall. That's how positive bitches treat one another. I love you so much. I hope this podcast resonated with you. Share it if you're listening on Instagram so I can reshare it on my page. Be sure to tag me at Vibing with CC. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, then definitely DM me again at Vibing with CC. If this podcast resonated with you, share it with a family member, a friend. We can all help one another become more magnetic so we can change the world. The sparkle in me always honors the sparkle in you. If you loved this episode, please leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It means the world to me, and it helps us reach other positive bitches. If not for me, do it for you. Why not? Good karma, whatevs. And I will see you in the next one. Mwah.